Hey everybody, welcome back to another awesome episode where I have got this amazing artist who painted, is that the right word? Painted, drew?
Yeah, it's
Painted this absolutely amazing artwork, which some of you who are Push the Point fans may know. It is Looming Doom, the card that we were very lucky to spoil for the Dynasty set, and Marco was the chap that painted this amazing piece of artwork. I would like to just first off say, how are you? How's life been treating you? I've heard while we were trying to get this interview sorted, you've been doing a big move.
Yeah. We recently moved together with my wife to Canada. We are from Chile, so
yeah.
It was quite a change. So we're still getting used to it. I mean, we got here about 2 months ago, and we got this like really cold winter here.
I can imagine Canada's cold.
Like, yeah. I mean, it was like we got a cold front right up when we got here, like minus 25, minus 30, and we were coming from summer, like over 30, 35 degrees. So yeah, it was quite a bit of change.
Yeah.
But it's been nice. I mean, people are nice, and everything. It's been good to us.
Oh,
so life's treating us well. And I've been keeping doing my freelance work, including LSS, Flesh and Blood. So yeah, in that regard, it hasn't been that much of a shock.
No.
Yeah, it's been good.
Is it a bit of a big culture change moving over to Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I mean, you can see it like everywhere, in pretty much everything, in the food, in the way people relate to each other. We used to have like everywhere was pretty crowded and noisy. Like I don't know what kind of image you have of Latin American cultures. Chile is kind of quiet in relation to other countries. Like it's not like, I don't know, Central American countries which are more festive.
Yeah.
But still, compared to Canada, it feels like it was like pretty noisy.
Right.
And
oh wow.
Crowded. Yeah. People are really quiet here, but we enjoy it. We like that quietness.
Oh, good. Is there which I know this is obviously a little bit going over, because we don't worry everyone, we will be digging into the artwork. But is there, with the new sceneries and the views, or I don't know, the inspiration around you in Canada, does that actually sort of get a sort of different feel if you're painting something?
Yeah. It does actually. We were used to having like certain types of climates, and we always saw the mountain trails that were all around. Like it doesn't matter where you are in Chile, you'll see the mountains.
Oh wow!
And here we do live like sort of in the mountains, but it's much like, I don't know, like back in Chile, if you wanted to go into nature, you probably have to go like lengthy roads and pay. And here, like, it's like everywhere, so you are like surrounded by it. So it's pretty nice. We love like bird watching and walking around, and we can do that here. It's pretty nice. And since we didn't have snow either, we had snow like maybe once in 10 years, and that was like the big event. Like everyone was talking about it. And here, like, it was all covered in snow. I almost fall down like quite a few times, and I'm not used to it. But seeing that also, like, it makes you realize, like, okay, I was painting this because I thought it was like that. I saw pictures of that, but now that I can see that directly, it's like a whole new thing. And you see how color and light interact with new, like the weather, even the sky is different, so you can see how it changes what's way far back in the distance. Yeah, it's a whole new thing.
Wow,
It's really nice.
that's really cool. That's really cool. So just if for all the people who are intrigued with the art, you know, obviously location and inspiration is a huge factor in obviously making all this art. Now,
Yeah, so you can say that probably Looming Doom was inspired by Chile. So.
well, I was going to say, I don't know what's going on in Chile. I've seen some films in Latin America. I don't know if it was definitely this bad.
Maybe not yet, but I don't know. I don't want to wait.
I'm out. The Looming Doom is coming. I'm off to Canada.
Right.
Speaking of Looming Doom, bro, this artwork I think is one of the. Obviously, I'm here, but and obviously it was my spoiler, but I still think it's one of the standout pieces of art that came out in the Dynasty set, and that's, you know, there's a lot, and I would just like to point out and say that there's actually all of them stunning, beautiful pieces of art that are on the cards. But there's something about this one that I felt that really stood out, and I think it was probably. Well, first and foremost, it is an absolutely stunning piece of art. So well done. You know, it's actually beautiful. But I think it also really gave a really good story. It's like following on a story from the set Monarch that came out, where there was the light versus shadow. And then we moved off from it for a little bit with Tales of Aria. And then Everfest, there was this like really festive sort of carnival going on, and now we're in Uprising, so we're in Volcor, and then Icelander's there for some reason, and there's all this ice and lava and rebellion. And in Dynasty, you'd thought there's going to be a continuation of this rebellion kicking off, and Arachne's just murdered the Emperor. You think, crikey, it's all kicking off, and then this just sort of comes right out of nowhere and just reminds everybody, you know, that light and shadow thing that happened. This is still going on. It's still here, and I think this is the big. This
hasn't gone nowhere.
No, it's not. It's still going, and this art has kind of like you know, tabbed back in, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's not going very well for the light side of the battle currently." You know, and that was what made, I think, this artwork really stand out in the set, because it kind of just reminded everyone that the story is still rolling somewhere else. So I bet, how was that when you got that brief? I mean, how much do you know about the Flesh and Blood, the lore, the story going on within the game? Like,
well, I just know like the basics, just major stuff. And the briefs didn't cover much either.
Oh, okay.
No, they usually don't actually.
Okay.
They're pretty loose. Just well, like the name says, brief descriptions, and you usually just get like general ideas and maybe some just really specific points that you should consider. But I don't know. In case of Looming Doom, you could probably guess what the brief was. Like if we look at the picture, I mean, because I can't really go into much detail, but if you look at the picture,
I mean, the picture's pretty detailed. It kind of does say a lot.
So, what can you see?
Well, there's a big demon coming off in the background with like 2, 3, I think. I don't know how many monsters that you actually did, Drew, but I can see there's one massive one that's looking very much in. I mean, I interpret that as probably the big Ursa dude guy that's coming with chain. And then there is some other big monsters coming out in the background, and I'd probably say there's like 3 different monsters just sort of came out of nowhere, just absolutely laying waste to Solana.
Yeah, so that's probably it.
Yeah,
When,
that was the brief.
yeah, when I got the brief, that was pretty similar to what you said. So there was nothing more in depth. Actually, the original sketches didn't even include the character in the middle, or the yeah, it was like more of a wasteland after a battlefield, which you can still kind of guess. Um, it was even like a horizontal piece, so
Right.
we
Oh,
changed it
wow.
along the way. So yeah, sometimes things like that happen when you get a brief, you send a couple sketches. Okay, I have this idea and this idea and this idea. Okay, we can go with this one,
Yeah.
or maybe we can pick this one, but you can add this bit of that other one, or maybe we can go with that one but change that, and it usually goes like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you have one vision and the other director has, I don't know, a different one, and sometimes they want to convey part of the story of the game, which makes sense. So they want it to be consistent, or they want
So
to send a particular message.
I take it that with this, with your brief, and this is kind of following on from the point of how exciting this was that you managed to get a piece of artwork that has taken something back from Monarch into this game. Do you know that this was what they wanted you to do? That this was some old piece of art, and or like, do you know what I mean? Like how much the set was kind of still set in Volcor, but you got this one little gem hidden in there that's all about Monarch. I'm
Right.
just curious if you kind of knew how cool you had it.
That's not part of the information that came in the brief or the conversations.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I just kind of guessed it because I knew I had to draw Solana, so it was okay. Solana was like this, and there was this huge conflict in that, and now I have to draw Solana like this, which is totally different, and which this other side clearly um, imposing their will by strength. Like it's a big change. So it was kind of more of a guess than something that was explicit.
No, well, basically, well, you had something. You basically got something really, really cool. You got something so cool. And when we got it, and I saw the art for the first, I think obviously the LSS guys saw it for the first time. But when it came through, I was just, this is absolutely no. I didn't even. And then I looked at the art, the actual the rules of the text and everything. And the rules, the card's actually playable, by the way. So your card, the artwork will actually still show up in the game because it's actually a pretty good playable card. But the biggest standout was definitely absolutely the artwork. So you were saying that the hero was not the hero, the person in the middle of the photo was something that you just added in. So for question everyone that you're probably asking, is this Dorinthia? Is this some sort of hero? The answer is
No.
no.
That's really, yeah, it's just yeah, you can think of any story you want. Like it can be any of those characters. It can be just a random NPC, but it was okay. I just survived, and what's going on? Like I'm just waiting for hero to come and save us, or probably just die. I don't know. So yeah. Yeah, I didn't get any kind of specifics regarding the cards, any description, anything at all. So we were talking about this before, but when I started drafting the character, it was like, okay, I just need I don't know, I just need someone there. So I just drafted like a human figure. And started putting some clothes on, and then the hair, and the arms were in a different position, oh my god. And so quite a few changes were added along the way, and the character was definitely not any particular character, just one random person that stood there and was, I don't know if lucky or unlucky to witness all that.
A bit unlucky, I'd have to say.
I'd be unlucky, yeah.
I mean, there's all her mates just cooking on the side there. That was
Right.
yeah, it's absolutely brutal. I want to go through some of the questions that the Twitter
Sure.
has reached out to us, and we'll see where we go with these. We'll see where we go. So,
Sure.
Sam George from Twitter says, "Was this artwork at all inspired by Stranger Things?" And he did say, "Is that Dory in the middle?" Which we have definitely answered,
Oh yeah.
but it's not
I can
Dory.
see it. No, it's not. It's definitely not. But I can see where that comes from. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I'm not a Stranger Things fan. I barely watched season 1.
Oh,
And
you watched more than me.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm not a big Stranger Things fan, but yeah, I can just see this.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
the big
I remember
monster.
the thing, the big demons coming from the sky with this cloudy and gloomy atmosphere. So yeah, I can see that. I can see that where this person comes from. But no. There was I never thought about it before.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Armpit, we kind of probably answered your question when we went through this, but what was the details of the direction from the studio, which you kind of explained and said we need looming doom, we need a battlefield. It's looking pretty bad, and then this is the direction that you came from it. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that was pretty much the description, and I don't quite remember what else there was because we always get like a brief description and then kind of the mood and the focus. Like,
Yeah.
okay, we want this to feel like this. This is what's going to happen. This is what has to be included. But then, considering this, you want it to feel like this. You want the viewers to feel this way about it.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it. And of course, Looming and Doom were part of that. Probably I don't quite remember exactly, but
yeah. So we have Paul Wright. He says, "What is the art? So the artist spec LSS send out like? I think we went through that. Are they quite perceptive in what they want in the card to look like, or do they give a vague idea and let the artist be creative? Which I think you've. So in this specific piece, they gave you a brief description and you then went with it. But they, like you said as well, there is times where they hone in and actually give you some real solid directions.
Right. Yeah.
On stuff.
It's more like a process. So you start with some very general ideas, and a lot of times you do have to look at the reference material they send you.
Okay.
You have like visual guidelines, and we can look at previous artwork that was made for similar themes. Like, of course, Solana was already created, so I didn't have to create it from scratch. But I did have to refer to it because it had to be somewhat recognizable by the players.
Yeah.
So,
I bet that's a weird thing. I suppose is that and then maybe that is all down to how probably busy you are. But do you prefer to have something like Solana? You did a very good job, by the way, because I clearly just straight up knew it was Solana because you got the way the details and the points and the way the actual architecture of the whole Solana place, country, town, whatever it's called. You've got that, you've nailed that down like really well by just snap looking at it. I knew it was Solana. Do you prefer to actually have those reference points, or would you have actually loved to have had this opportunity to go, you know what, I'd love to sort of, this is what I envision what it looks like? Is there times where you actually could be a bit more creative?
And actually, like both.
I thought that would
be. Because I think it depends. It really depends on what kind of artwork you need to do. Because, for instance, other cats, they're like really open to whatever you suggest, and I think it's more related to how established that particular object or character or culture or whatever is already in the game. So some characters aren't haven't been created. Some places haven't been described. Um, so you can go east with those. But Solana is like an important place within the story, within the game. So you of course have to follow some general guidelines to make sure that it looks like Solana, that you can recognize it as such. And that's part of the fun too. Like, you're making a contribution to this huge world that you haven't created yourself, and there are writers, there are concept artists, there are other illustrators going about it. So you kind of want to respect all the work behind it and make your own contribution to it. Like, okay, yeah, I didn't exactly copy it, but I have to reference it, and I think it's good.
Yeah,
and it's also a good exercise too.
Absolutely. Then I can imagine when you got to when they've asked you to do this sort of stuff, that you had all the references of Solana was everything's fine. In fact, we're doing really well. It's really prosperous here. It's all, you can see it in the background everywhere. Look at it. Look how lovely and everything's going. And you are the first person to draw the absolute hell of it. I bet that was just a really fun sort of it's the first time we've seen Solana pretty much burn into the ground.
Oh yeah. There were no references like this one. So yeah. I guess it's the first one. I don't know. Well, I have to say I do enjoy painting stuff like this, like ruin and I don't know, like desperate catastrophe and all that. I like painting like gritty scenes.
I was going to say, this moves on to one of the last questions I got from Twitter, was from Adam Cook. So it's not one of the last ones. Mad Peterson as well pretty much asked the question, and everyone's been asking the same sort of question. So I hope basically we've now answered all of them, but it's basically the details from what LSS give you and direction. Everyone's so intrigued of detail and direction they give you, but we've answered that in spades. So, but thank you so much, Matt Peterson. Adam Cooks has said, are you inspired by any other dark fantasy literature or art?
Well, I gotta say, if I'm being totally honest, I'd like to read more. I used to read more, but nowadays I don't really. I mean, I try to catch up, but it's been really hard for me. So no. I do keep track of the art made for dark fantasy literature.
Yeah.
So so it's kind of a loop I have to go about. But yeah, I do. I mean, I'm currently replaying Dark Souls. I love the stuff. I just love Souls games and all the kind of atmospheres and aesthetics.
Yeah.
And I think I started making stuff not particularly like that, but in that line quite a long ago. And so when I discovered there was like a huge world out there making that kind of stuff, it was like, oh great. I grew up also reading stuff like Berserk. I don't know, like
See, so we're hitting off well already. I've got the full volume collection here. I've got a tattoo on the side of my head with it. I'm big,
really?
Yeah, massive Berserk fan.
Big fan.
Massive fan. Yeah, massive fan. Oh, yeah. So that's cool, and it's that's really that's awesome because tell you what, I'm actually god awful with names. The author, the manga artist,
Omura.
Yeah. His art is crackers. It's so good.
Yes.
And the amount of detail. Anyway, we didn't come into talk.
Yeah, it's really inspiring.
You just sit there and go, Jesus Christ! There's a whole chapter full of just this.
Full of amazing art.
It's we didn't commit to talk about Berserk, everyone, don't we?
Yeah.
We'll do this after. But is there, so what other art, what other artworks did you manage to contribute towards the Flesh and Blood game, so everyone can find them and pick them out?
Well, there's.
I know I probably just asked a big, deep question here.
Yeah, I'm currently working on my card number 29, actually.
Oh, okay, cool. Probably the easiest thing to do is we'll drop a link below in the video, and people can go and check out your website and have a look at all the all your other artwork.
You know, there's this how can I say this? You probably follow, I don't know, but probably you may follow FabDB. I don't know.
FabDB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can find all the cards I've painted so far, and they are published. Because of course they won't show the ones that aren't yet.
Yeah. So also, I suppose what I'll do is as well is just reference that you work with Arthouse Syndicate as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
So they do a lot of work to help support artists, especially around in Flesh and Blood, to sort of hone it all into one space. So if you haven't checked out Arthouse Syndicate as well, you can find Marco and lots of other amazing Flesh and Blood artists, and you can go on there to go and support Marco in getting. Go order these prints. I think I'm definitely going to try and go and grab myself a Looming Doom one and slap it on my wall behind there. It's so cool. I will say and end on this point. Obviously, you can't really tell us, but do you have some stuff coming up with Outsiders without knowing specifics? But have you got some work coming up?
Oh yeah.
There you go. That's
I
gritty. I think and that stuff is gritty.
I don't quite remember, but I think there are about 5 or 6 more coming up.
Ooh.
And just this year, I already sent, I don't know, like 3 or so. Yeah, there's more coming.
You've locked into quite a few, but there's in Outsiders you've got like 5 or 6 pieces of artwork coming in, and we're in a very, very awful, gritty world. So for people who also love Berserk and you love this sort of direction with Looming Doom, well, we're in good hands here. Marco's going to definitely be giving us some absolutely disgusting, absolutely filthy looking pieces of artwork coming out. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, there's more grit coming. There's more blood.
That's what we're here for. Yeah. The Flesh and Blood.
Flesh and Blood.
I know that when I got this from Mateusz as well. If you haven't, so I don't know if you've heard of Mateusz from Poland, who did the amulets for Tales of Aria.
I'm not sure.
He also did Regenerate, I think it was Regenerate. That was the name of the card. With Brute, and the Tome of Firebrand from Uprising. So he did.
Oh yeah,
those ones. So I asked this question to him, which I know the answer to, but if you haven't seen this, I'll answer the question to you, because I'm pretty sure it's the same answer. You don't know. You've not seen the cards. You don't know what your artworks, cards, or anything of what, like, in terms of the spoiler, you're along with the ride with us, aren't you? In terms of when this stuff comes out, you're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
How does that feel as an artist?
I don't know. It's you can get used to it. Like,
is it exciting?
Yeah, it is. It is because you make the hour, you spend hours painting it, and then you deliver it. Get paid, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you kind of forget about it. I mean, I do tend to go back at them and look at them. Oh, I made this. Oh, I did. Because I don't know if you heard this from other artists, but it's normal to get, I don't know, like, frustrated artistically. Like, oh yeah, I'm not really that good. I'm not.
All the time.
I can do my stuff, but there's a lot of people are better than me. Why would they pick me? Why would people see my art? And then I go back and look at what I made, and it was, oh I'm good. I can do this. I can do this.
There's definitely there must be definitely some art that, or people just create a piece of art that even makes you go, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. But then never take away from the fact that you've like the fact that you even putting it, like you've seen all this other artwork before they even came in contact you or you came to them, or regardless, they're employing you to do some work, and this is the level they've got you in because you're clearly as good or on the level of what they want artistically to tell this amazing story through the art that you do. So
so you have to constantly remind yourself of that, and then you see the spoilers.
Yeah.
You start seeing the spoilers, and it's that's cool. It's pretty exciting. I remember when they started releasing Monarch.
What?
Monarch?
Monarch.
And I think they sent like different waves of spoilers, and they were saying, okay, we spoiled this card through these guys. Go see them on Facebook. Go see them on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. And it was like, I don't know, like a set of cards every day or something. So, and I think it was the first set I made more than one card for. Because when I started at Flesh and Blood, I painted Sleep Dark, and that was like about at the end of
Crucible of War.
Crucible of War. They were finishing the edition, and they got me in, and I painted that one, and that was it. So I forgot about it for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. And they released it. I didn't know. And then I got the briefs for Monarch, and I don't quite remember how many cards there were, but definitely more than one.
Yeah.
I was more, okay, this is getting serious. It's getting real. So when they were releasing the spoilers, I used to go into the website and check every day. Okay, what cards they spoiled now? Where can I see them? How do people react to them? And it's usually a good reaction. I mean, not only towards my art, but towards other artists' work. And it's very nice. The community is really cool.
Yeah.
And that's good to see too.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you always do you hope as well? I'll tell you what, so much for last question. Do you also hope, do you care that your art is on a card that's like, when people go, oh mate, this is a staple, everyone's going to put this in their deck and play it and use it, and you're like, cool, man, it's like they put some good rules on my art. Do you know what I mean? Does that sometimes make you go, I
know what you mean,
that's a good card?
It's kind of nice. I mean, I don't really try to focus too much on that, because you're always going to get the cards that are going to be locked up in a box in the basement, and you'll never see it again. So it's fine. I mean, it's unreal to think that every card you make is going to be important in the game, and everyone's going to love it. It's kind of naive. But when it does happen, that you get a kind of important card or a good card, a useful card, and people share it more, and you can see that it has more presence online or within the communities. I don't know, it's a nice feeling, and it also gives people their chance to see the art, which is what you're there for. And if they like it, well, that's better. I mean, it would be really crappy if you if you had a good card with your worst art, like the one you hated.
Yeah, I know. You'd be more annoyed about that.
It's an amazing card. Everyone loves it. It's like a must-have in your deck, but hate the art I made for this. I would hate that.
Yeah.
But hopefully that doesn't happen.
No, I was gonna say if you weren't, if you sort of looked at it and went, "Cool, this is not that good," you'd probably be like, "I ain't sending that." You'll be tweaking at it. But yeah, no, honestly, I think I will leave it there. Thank you so much for
thank you
for one making this amazing piece of artwork, and fate just brought us together that we were the ones that were lucky enough to spoil this amazing piece of artwork. And I would say that this would probably be, a massive staple in terms of the art and the direction and the story and the feel and everything that this card sort of brought. I think this art's going to be going on in the future a lot. It does a lot for the game. So thank you so much for creating a beautiful piece of art.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm really glad you guys appreciate it.
Oh, immensely. And thank you for jumping on again, everyone. Go check out Marco's website. Seeing all the other piece of amazing art he's done for not only Flesh and Blood, but for some other games as well. I've noticed that you've also started doing some 3D artwork for some game. It was like a little fox or something.
Oh yeah.
I'll follow you on Twitter, so go follow him on Twitter as well. And you get to check out a lot of what he's doing going forward for everything that's not Flesh and Blood. Marco, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.